We pray for blessings, we pray for peace, comfort for family, protection while we sleep. We pray for healing, for prosperity. We pray for your mighty hand to ease our suffering. And all the while, you hear each spoken need. Yet love is way too much to give us lesser things. 'Cause what if your blessings come through raindrops? What if your healing comes through tears? What if 1,000 sleepless nights are what it takes to know you're near? And what if trials of this life are your mercies in disguise? We pray for wisdom, your voice to hear. And we cry in anger when we cannot feel you near. We doubt your goodness, we doubt your love, as if every promise from your word is not enough. And all the while, you hear each desperate plea, and long that we'd have faith to believe. 'Cause what if your blessings come through raindrops? What if your healing comes through tears? And what if 1,000 sleepless nights are what it takes to know you're near? And what if trials of this life are your mercies in disguise? When friends betray us, when darkness seems to win, we know the pain reminds this heart that this is not our home. It's not our home. 'Cause what if your blessings come through raindrops? What if your healing comes through tears? And what if 1,000 sleepless nights are what it takes to know you're near? What if my greatest disappointments or the aching of this life is the revealing of a greater thirst this world can't satisfy? And what if trials of this life, the rain, the storms, the hardest nights, are your mercies in disguise?
Dorine's birth was my first memory. She was my one and only sister, and I wish that I had known when I was not quite 3 years old that would be. She was such a spunky little girl. I still remember my mother chasing her through our yard, Mama Dory's yard, Aunt Lois's yard, trying to catch her to give her a spanking for some mischief she did. It was never bad or mean or malicious, but she was just full of herself. She was so supportive of my family, our children, our grandchildren. She attended all weddings, graduations, programs, anything she could to support us. Dorine and I have always had such a good relationship in that we could laugh about anything. I will never forget our trip to France. We had 10 whole days just to ourselves. We laughed the whole way through and had the most fun. I will miss you forever, Dorine. You were the best sister I could ever have hoped for.
The first time I met Dorine was my first date with Carol. Dorine was, I guess, 11. I got a couple of things I wanted to mention about Dorine that kind of showed to me what a strong person she really was and a caring person. Eddie, as you know, was a very accomplished junior golfer, and there used to be a tournament in Dothan, Alabama called the Junior Masters, and I was in town for the Junior Masters. I guess Eddie was in the 13 to 14 age group, and Dorine was there to, give him encouragement and stay with him and all the stuff that parents do. And I walked with Dorine outside the ropes and watched how she encouraged Eddie, and when he had that one golfer moment that we all have where he blew up about missing a shot, she counseled with him immediately and calmed him down, and I was very impressed by that. When Eddie had his accident about a year and a half later, inside Dorine was dying, but outside she was calm, and her demeanor was to keep everybody going in a straight direction through the whole bad incident. Carol and Dorine started talking on the phone an awful lot during the week, 2 or 3 times for sure, and for 40 to 60 minutes almost every time. My normal phone call lasted about 45 seconds. I just couldn't figure out what they were talking about. I was at home about 6 months ago when Dorine called for Carol, and Carol had just left. And I said, I'll have her call you back as soon as you get here. And for some reason, and I never said this before in my life, I said, I love you. And without even hesitating a sec, she said, I love you too.
We love Dorine in so many ways, so many fond memories. It's kind of hard to go single out a few or a specific trait that she had. But I think probably one of the most important things and the most thing sticks out in my mind is she was always in our corner and our number one fan. Any stage of our life, no matter what we did, no matter how big or small, she was always asking about it, bragging about it, talking about our girls, things that made us feel good because she took interest in us, and it was genuine interest, and it was she had such a warm heart in that way. And I know we're not alone because she continually talked about the nieces and the nephews and was always sharing stories with us about them and Gary and Carol and all of her close friends. But that was Dorine. To boil it down, I think she was always about everyone else, and that's where she got her joy, is thinking about everyone else, taking an interest in everyone else, and something we should model ourselves after. And it's just been a big blessing of ours over the years, because we always knew Dorine was behind us. Didn't matter what the situation or what was going on.
She was all about family. She embraced me from the moment that Mark and I met, and it just we were like sisters like none other. She never treated me as the in-law. And when we would go out shopping, people thought we were really sisters because of the way we would laugh, and we even kind of looked alike, same color hair and all, but we just had so much fun, and I'm going to miss her laughter the most. There's a lot of things I'm going to miss about Dorine, but her laughter for sure. She appreciated the little things, and I want to see the life that I know I should be looking at through the lens of Dorine's eyes, and appreciate the little things, because those are the things that turn into the big moments. And she always knew how to take the little things and turn them into the big things of the heart. She taught me that it's not the length of life, but it's the depth of. And so to wrap it up, there was a quote that I found after her passing that I want to share. And it says, "When you are sorrowful, look again at your heart, and you shall see that in truth you are weeping for that which has been your delight." And she was my delight. She was my joy. She was my sister. And I love you, Dorine. And I'll miss you.
We love you, Dorine.
I remember Dorine well during her growing up years, full of life, with loads of energy and love for everyone. She grew up in a family full of love and devotion to one another, and with a mix of Epley and Louque genes, how could she not be an example of how one should treat others? Dorine loved life, her family, and she displayed this in everything she did. Dorine was my cousin, but she was more like a younger sister because of our close family ties, and her parents, Vala and Philip, who were there for me during my growing up years. I loved Dorine dearly, and I'm so pleased that she was a part of my life.
Hi, my name is Carla Baker. I met Miss Dorine and the family about 5 years ago. Miss Dorine welcomed me into her home like she had known me forever. That was her personality. She didn't know an enemy. Some of my fondest memories of Miss Dorine was the day I called her my boss, because I take care of Eddie when they want to have date night. And she told me she wasn't my boss, she was my friend. And that meant the world to me. Another big memory was about 6 weeks before she took ill. You know, with all this COVID going on, nobody's hugging, everybody's staying distant. But she had asked me to come sit for date night. I got in the door. I hadn't seen her in about 2-3 months. And we both asked each other give each other a hug. And she hugged me like nobody's business. So warm and welcoming. She's going to be greatly missed. Loved her so much. She always had a funny story to tell, and she always made everybody smile. She was a great asset to this earth, and we know that she's watching over us.
I just wanted to have a time that I could express that Dorine, Mike, and Eddie have always been our fondest memories of being together, and the times that you had us over for dinner and you made your famous lasagna and your delicious gumbo. And whenever we walked through the door, you could feel your warmth and how much you cared. And you'll always be in my heart.
Known Dorine since we were in preschool at church, and all the elementary school and grade school, high school, going to church together and school together. And then to have these special times since you've moved back to Columbia has been amazing. And it'll always be something that Joanna and I will cherish forever. You're one of the most special people we've ever been around.
Dorine, we know you're here with us today, looking down, smiling at your family and friends. Melissa and I want to share a few photos that we think will make you smile a little more. Some with us, and some with other good friends of yours that, who thanks to you, are now friends of ours. And Billy and I want to thank you for pushing Mike to join us at the gym, because he made sure that Eddie was always there with us with his great smile. We always had fun together. Our time here may be short, but life sure is better because of people in the world like you.
Dorine, you were a wonderful mother, wife, friend, and sister to us all. We love you and we will always miss you.
This is Therese and Lee Hooks from across the street. We live on the bridge across the road from the Siscos. Met and loved the Siscos ever since we've moved here. One of the first things we did when we came out here was I thought I'll go out and paint the bridge sign because it was kind of getting dirty, and without asking, Dorine was out there first thing, just the sweetest thing ever, and came out and helped. And I thought, first, I wondered if she was a good painter. Come to find out, she's a fantastic painter. I mean, not just painting signs and painting walls. She's a terribly gifted artist. She's a wonderful cook. She makes the meanest lasagna. I mean, I'm always looking forward to Christmas because her candied nuts are just divine. When I think of Dorine, I think of how fiercely she was so proud and in love with her family. She just always had wonderful stories to tell me about Eddie and Mike. I also think of her as being extremely tough. I mean, a couple years back, she had some broken bones. She had a run-in with Bailey's leash, and, you know, she was in a wheelchair, and I would come by just to visit and say hey, and she never had a complaint. She was just tough as nails. She got her stuff done. She never asked for help, and it was amazing for such the sweetest, kindest person to be so tough. I know with this last sickness, she fought the hardest she could possibly fight because she did not want to leave her family. She loved her family so immensely. I can't imagine the fight she put up. When I talked to my son Colton, I let him know that Dorine's in heaven right now and she's getting it prepared, and when one day we go to heaven, she'll be one of the first people in line to show us around.
Must have been cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine, that's your way. You always walked a step behind. So I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strength. A beautiful face without a name for so long. A beautiful smile to hide the pain. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle. You are the wind beneath my wings. Might have appeared to go unnoticed, but I've got it all here in my heart. I want you to know I know the truth. Of course I know I would be nothing me.